Hi everyone. So today I'm going to teach you how to make a simple winter scene for your Christmas cards using the Happy Snowman stamp by Gerda Steiner Designs. And we're going to make this cute little card with a snowman and a little bluebird having kind of a stare down. It looks like they like each other and they're about to become the best of friends. So we're going to start by arranging our stamps on our card panel, which is an A2 size card panel, 5.5 by 4.25 inches. And I'm going to arrange it so that the little bird is just to the upper right of the snowman. And then we're going to draw a little branch under the bird to make it look like that's where he is perched. So I'm going to take an E43 Copic marker and just kind of sketch out where I want the branch to be, and then later on in the video we'll go back and shade that in so that it looks a little bit more realistic and has a little bit more depth to it. I'm just kind of separating out the snowy area from the sky with my gray marker, and now we're going to start sketching in the background behind the snowman. And it's going to be a real chilly morning outdoors where this little snowman and bird are having their cute little stare down, or maybe I guess this is the way snowmen and little birdies make friends. And we're going to use some BG000 and some B0000. And then on the top, we're going to start with some B60 and we're going to flick downwards. So I thought that the last scene that I made, the blue sky kind of faded out into nothing. And this time I wanted there to be a little bit from the top coming down some color, with the center being pretty light. So that's why I put that B60 at the top there. And then we're going to just make our scene look especially frosty by adding some BG10 to the outer edges. I'm going to just sketch in some little snow hills here. And some of these ended up not looking quite the way I wanted. So the trick to that, if you make a little snow hill that goes awry, is just, you're going to see what I do in a second. Just kind of cover that over on the edges with some gray, and then it'll just make it look like that's part of the shadowy part of the scene instead of a mistake. So now I'm just trying to fix the hills by adding some C0, and I'm like, that's not working. So then I just take my marker, the C0, and just kind of blend in from the sides. And that seemed to work. Okay, now we're going to start coloring in our main image. I love this adorable little snowman. I love that little smile he has on his face. And for the broom, I colored the broom handle in with some E20s, some E23 and E27 primarily. For the broom itself, we're going to use E21, E24, E27, and then E99, which is my favorite, like yellowish orange brown for brooms. And for the little metal part on the broom, I'm just using some neutral grays there. And I'm just trying to give a little bit more dimension to that broom handle. So I added a little dark strip of brown along the top edge. For the nose, we're going to give him a little yellow glow in the center, and then color in the rest of it with some oranges. Now I'm working on the holly leaf on the hat, and then we're going to color in the holly berries. The berries are really, really tiny, so it's hard to make them stand out on the scene, but I tried. One trick, if you want the berries to stand out more than they are going to look like on this card, you might want to just color the band of the snowman's hat in a very light color. That might help them stand out a little bit more. Now for the scarf, we're going to give him a red scarf. I always like, when I have a simple scene like this, to have a really strong color in the center. With the last little reindeer scene that I did on this channel, we had our strong color in that scene was the dark reddish brown of the reindeer. And here with our snowman, I thought a nice red scarf would kind of give the same bold look. So I'm just gonna keep shading in my red scarf there. And I like to have my highlight on my red objects to be like a yellow orange color. So that's why I'm using the YR12. And I'm just going to kind of keep going over my red until I have a nice blend. And now for the band on the snowman's hat, we're going to use some blue violets, which is one of my favorite color combinations to make purple. And again, like I said, you can see how the little holly berries are kind of disappearing against the darkness of that purple band. So you might want to try a yellow band or maybe a white band if you are recreating this hat, or maybe you could put some polka dots around the band to kind of help break up the darkness right in the center there where the holly berries are. For the snowman's hat, we're going to give him a black hat, and to make black, we are going to use some cool grays. So we're going to use cool gray 1 through 9 on this hat, and our darkest color is going to be focused around the edges of the object, and then the lighter colors are going to be in the center. And I'm just kind of working on my blend here with my C7, being careful to leave a little highlight in the center. And that looks good to me. So now we're going to move on to our buttons, and we're going to have black buttons. So I just used 2 colors here, C5 and C9. Oh, 3 colors, and then C7. And then for our little blue jay, I've been inspired by blue jays lately. So I have a bunch of birds in my backyard, and some of them are blue jays. And I haven't seen my blue jays for most of the summer, but now that the winter is here already in Illinois, it's been like in the teens, my blue jays have been coming back recently. So I thought I would add a little blue jay to this card to celebrate the return of my little backyard blue jays. I'm also happy to report that we also get here in Illinois these little birds called dark-eyed juncos, and they're these tiny, cute little birds. They almost look like chickadees, except their coloring is a little different, and they only come in the winter. So they migrate down from Canada, and they hang out here in the U.S. during the winter months. So it's kind of a sign that the winter is coming when you see them in your backyard. When I lived in New Jersey, I had the same thing with little juncos. And then, you know, spring is coming when you don't see them by your bird feeders anymore. Okay, so now we're going to add some shading to the tree branch. And I'm just going to use some E40s again, just to blend everything out a little bit, make it a little bit interesting looking. Not going too crazy there. For the snowman, I just want to point out what I did with the shading. So instead of just leaving him white, I wanted to experiment by adding a bunch of color to our snowman. So I focused it on that lower left part of his body where it would be shadowed, just to kind of see if I like that or not. And I think it's a cool look. It definitely makes him look like he is chilly, and it makes it look like the day is a little bit overcast just by adding those shadows. But I also think it's a nice look to just leave it more white as well. So, experiment that and see what you like. Now we're going to add some snow all over the back of the scene. And I'm putting my snow right over my images as well to make it look like they are in the middle of the snowstorm. And there's one section on the upper left corner where I'm not putting snow, and that's because we're going to add our sentiment there, and I didn't want to stamp over any white gel pen. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment now with some black VersaFine ink, and now we're going to go back over that area and add in the snow around the sentiment, being careful not to get any snow on the sentiment. And once that's done, our card is done. So thanks so much for joining me today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you give this card a try. It took me maybe about 20-25 minutes, and it was so much fun and so relaxing. So I definitely encourage you to give it a try. Have a great day, and I will see you again soon in the next video.